all new. AM1150WTMP.com.
All right, Tampa Bay, it's that time again. Y'all went through the whole morning for a whole bunch of different talk shows, and then you end up with us. Yeah, the best. They say the best for last. That's what I always told. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically interpret a lot of the stuff you heard this morning, give it a different slant, and first of all, we're gonna let everybody know what and how to contact the show, how to get involved. So, let's do that. For those who don't know, and I know if you've been listening all day, you know what the phone number is, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. To call in to WTMP, the phone number is 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. That's the call in to the show. If you want to call Eddie Adams, you just want to log my cell phone number into...
How you want to call that right now?
Into your cell phone.
Immediately. Go ahead and call that now.
All right. Porch Talk Radio. This is Eddie Adams Jr. again, sitting here with Willie and Gabriel. And somebody told me Gabriel sounded like he was drunk on the show last week. So I'm just letting you know you sound like you was drunk.
I don't understand.
Anyway.
He was having a stroke.
Anyway, my cell phone
I'm
number...
over 50, who knows?
My cell phone number is 813-230-3312.
Dial in now.
813
Call.
230-3312.
Operators are standing by.
Also, somebody called me and told me last week that we were having too much fun.
Yeah, whatever.
They're used to all the other shows
That are boring.
that are serious.
Oh, okay.
And so
Exactly.
because they're so serious, they may not be able to laugh. I don't know what the rules are for the other shows, but
Let's have no laughing rule.
this is entertainment. So we laugh here often
Almost as funny as the politicians.
and loudly. So for those who need the website, and I know people go to the website because every other phone call, people tell me stuff about the website. I actually have not been to the website as often as I should have.
Does not surprise
me. I'm just saying, I do the show, so I get to interact with the folks. I don't have to go to the website to find out what's happening with us and the show. But anyway, it's a lot of people who do. So we are going to make sure that the website does what we say it does, and the information is there. So people who want to go to the website, take a look at it, porchtalkradio.com. I should not have to spell any of that. But anyway,
.com?
porchtalkradio.com. You want to know my email address? Eddie at porchtalkradio.com. All right, sponsors. Our sponsors have been excellent, awesome, whatever these new words these millennials are using. And they have been with us for a while. So, Todd Jones, Property Appraisal.
Great man.
Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee, and special thanks go out to the board of Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee because we're in the process of negotiating the new contract for next year. So,
Thank you, Jim. We're looking forward to working with you into the new year.
So thank you guys for all the support and all the work and all the stuff that we're doing. This is a team. We're going to work together to turn Hillsborough County red. That's a big deal, and this year,
Needs to happen.
This cycle, we may get that done. All working together, and of course, last but not least, Print Fast. Our great friend John Desbrow. All your printing needs. If you need a car, if you need a smart car, he has about 200 cars just kind of sitting around waiting on you to come out.
Sitting around.
Pay them a visit. Phone number 813-621-9444. Again, 813-621-9444. All right. Today on Porch Talk Radio, we're going to talk about the MLK parade,
Coming up.
day of service, how important that is in this community. Now, I must say it's a special day for me because it's a long day. Because the Toba breakfast starts at 6:45 in the morning. So I normally get up at 5 anyway because I'm back in school. For those who did not know, I'm in welding school, 1-year program. But anyway, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we do the 6:45. So I go downtown, do the MLK Toba breakfast, and then there's a parade at noon. But because I am president of the Grand Cru de la Battaglia, our float leaves its docking station at 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, the Toba breakfast, for those who have been to the Toba breakfast, know, is never over by 9. Even though they plan to be, they never over by 9. So I always have to leave the breakfast early. I eat the food though. I eat the food, and I usually miss part of the speech. That's like my routine. Then I get over, get the float out, get the float down the road, and then I meet my crew at 10 o'clock, over at the starting location for the MLK parade. They've changed the route some this year, I have heard, but we'll see on Monday. And then after we do all that fun and stuff, usually about 2-3 o'clock in the day, by the time it's over with, and we get back to the float, and the float goes where it needs to go, and we go where we need to go. There's the Black Heritage Music Festival that's going on downtown at Curtis Hickson Park.
We've done that before, right?
Yeah, we've done that before. So we actually did it, when we first started the show. We actually was there live, for some of the festivities that's going on. But they got Midnight Star, which is
Oh my goodness.
one of my, for old folks.
What's that big hit they had? No parking on the dance floor? Was that one of
No
theirs?
parking on the dance
Oh
floor.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
that was it. So again,
Solid, not gold.
that started 6 or 7 o'clock. They do those festivities, and then I go home. So as you can tell, that's going to be a long day of fun.
Really? Is your day that exciting?
And excitement.
really.
I mean, and we've done it that way for a number of years. So for those who don't remember, who don't know, the MLK parade has been going on for about 20, 30 years. So that part of it, they used to do a walk from downtown, from one of the churches to some place downtown to some other place downtown.
They used to have one in St. Pete they shut down,
Well,
right?
the one in St. Pete has been going on, and it is probably
It's opened up
the
again?
second or third biggest in the year. It's not
Really?
never went anywhere.
Okay,
And
somebody
it's-
said they closed it for a while.
It's today.
Yeah, so.
Matter of fact, yeah.
So it's a big deal. They have been nationally recognized as one of the big founders and the big presenters. Because before Tampa started doing a real parade with floats and all that kind of stuff, my crew used to go over to St. Pete and do the St. Pete
They got more money down there too.
MLK parade festivities, and it was big. It's still big, And now back then it used to go down Central. I think it goes down one of the other streets on the other side of Central, one north to south of Central. But again, that's a big deal too. So just want to make sure everybody know and everybody understand that it has changed in purpose. It used to be, well, let me say since we don't do political correctness, white folks used to consider it to be a day off. Black folks consider it to be a day of service. So they've taken that meaning and stretched it, and it is now part of most of the communities. And it's not many communities in the state of Florida. Now I could
Well-
say all over the country, but I know in the state of Florida, you got some teeny towns. You got some towns with 4,000 or 5,000 people, but they still do an MLK parade.
Well, and again, going down the trail of not politically correct, it seems that the whitest area would have the biggest MLK gathering. Of course, they got the money to throw down on it too, because
Oh.
it takes some effort and money
Oh yeah,
to make it happen.
a little planning, and this is a part of most of the communities. Like I say, I come from a little town called Lake Wales, Florida, and Lake Wales has probably
How
been
big is that town?
doing an
How
MLK
big is this table?
doing an MLK parade. I'm gonna let y'all sit there and trash talk my hometown, but Lake Wales stands up for itself. So
There's a
again,
Zil and a Nats.
again, a lot of small communities, a lot of large communities do MLK Day festivities in their own way. So that's a Southern tradition.
Southern tradition.
If not the entire country, because I know I can speak for the South. I know it ain't nowhere, and I mean ain't nowhere in the South.
So Michigan may not have a big showing, you
You
said?
can go without having, and actually to take it to a step further, when I was younger, we went to Atlanta for the MLK
Really?
celebration in Atlanta. We used to go to Atlanta every year on MLK Day and watch the festivities and see how big town celebrate MLK. And considering that's his hometown, you know, they always did a big deal. So I was glad that other places in the South took on MLK Day of service, and it became part of our regular routine every year this time of year. Y'all see.
No, I'm glad I'm not from Lake Wales. Thank you very much.
Oh, man.
I mean, whatever. But then, you know, this. Oh, and for those of you who don't know what TOBA is actually Tampa Organization of Black Affairs. This is their 39th annual MLK leadership breakfast that Eddie is going to be going to and eating the food and getting out before anybody says anything. So y'all watch him.
There's a certain part where everybody get up and walk around and be seen. So it's like the peacock session.
And walk out.
everybody's
Post a
strutting.
picture of Eddie walking out,
Everybody's
please, on
strutting around.
Facebook. Just
You
post
know,
a picture
and that's a good time because
of Eddie walking out.
everybody's trying to be seen, and I'm trying not to be seen. So
Leaving.
I can get up and kind of
Getting the heck
head
out.
to the quickest door so I can get out and
I paid for my breakfast. I'm going home.
go take care of the other stuff.
Well, that's interesting. You know what? It is interesting. You know what? Having, you know, this has been going on. Dr. King was assassinated in '68, I guess, and it's interesting to see how these things have grown and the meaning of all of it seems to change. This is supposed to be a celebration of his birthday and now of his life and of his teachings. Can we really say? I don't want to throw a wet blanket on all this, but can we really say that just in our community? I'm not talking about other people. In our community, are we following the teachings of Dr. King in a way that you think he'd be proud of at this point, or excited by?
As a Hispanic, I can say, heck no.
Okay. Because I think that's, you know what, I like that we're doing stuff. I like that the community's getting together and putting on parades, although I'm an old marching band guy, and frankly, I freaking hate parades. I hate them with everything in my being, but I know most other people like them. But you know what? I like it that we're getting together and doing stuff and putting these fairs on. I think that's a good thing. But is the meaning lost, or is it just a day to go down and watch Midnight Star at Curtis Park? Now, if you were just going to a concert to see Midnight Star, I got no problem with you or Midnight Star. But are you conflating all these things together? It's sort of like, it's like Christmas. Does it mean anything anymore? How do you tell the young people this means something anymore?
It don't mean anything unless you're a capitalist, because Christmas is now becoming capitalist.
Huge.
My
venture.
point.
Huge.
My point.
Not spiritual.
No, not at all. Not at
And
all.
when Christmas, when I'm talking about Christmas anymore, is obviously based in spirituality. It's actually based in Christianity, and so they've secularized it.
Yep.
Do we run the danger of having a Dr. King holiday, such as it is now, be secularized in that sense, to where it just doesn't mean anything? We just have a parade, and people go and they get beads, and it's like Black Gasparilla.
Oh,
Which
didn't
is
think about that.
Which is next week.
Which doesn't mean, which is okay, because that doesn't mean, because it's not supposed to mean anything.
Right.
It's not supposed to teach anything. It's not supposed to be anything important. And I don't know, as somebody who's 58, I'm still of the mind that these things are supposed to mean something. Supposed to teach something. They're supposed to lead to somewhere. Or is it that's just now another day off? Like white folks, is it just another day off?
Just another day off.
And see, the thing about Gasparilla been around over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for those folks who that is important to, it never ever was supposed to be anything other than a big party.
which is fine.
I mean,
A brothel or debauchery.
well,
event,
I'm just saying,
whatever.
get the
Okay.
key to the pirates, and
It's
and
fun.
they ransack the city. It's the whole version of where it's supposed to come from, and
Always
then
made up,
and
by
then
the
the
way.
pirates come
Yeah.
and take over the city, and
It's written in Tampa history.
and they do all that stuff for a week. So it's 100 years of them doing that. Now MLK has not been, the whole holiday idea concept ain't been around 50 years.
No.
So again,
Which is why I worry, Eddie. I mean, it took a lot less. I mean, Gabriel was never supposed to be anything other than city fathers and rich people having fun in the streets.
Right.
And that's fine. And it does that beautifully.
Yeah, it does.
And it does that beautifully. And that's fine. I ain't hating on Gasparilla or the night parade or the cruise.
Mhm.
But what I'm worried about is that I don't think that black communities have the social buffer.
There's nobody teaching them what it's about.
Well, the social buffer to experience these things and have so many people come together and not learn and grow from it. We don't have the social buffer for that. We don't have room in our lives for crazy Uncle Joe. And I ain't talking about Joe Biden. We don't have room for our lives in our community for those kind of things. So we got to pretty much stay on point. What are we talking about when we're celebrating this man that some of our kids don't even, other than this,
Right.
don't even know,
Right.
or even know about, other than
Mhm.
the I Have a Dream speech, which they can barely quote any of it,
Right.
Yeah.
and they've never heard it even.
Well, see, and the other thing we got to look at too is who's pushing the concept. Because
Mhm.
again, the churches do the best they can, but we have. I'm waiting to see, and I've not seen any national leader get up to talk to the community of black folks nationwide about this and the importance of this, and give any explanation to it other than the freedom marches and what all that stuff meant. But see, they talk about MLK separate from the rest of the civil rights movement, and this day. They all supposed to work, they all supposed to be a part of the same thing. That's why it was a movement. It didn't happen over a couple of weeks or a couple of days or a couple of years. It took, 20, 30 years for it to start and go through its process and end up, with where we are today, celebrating the pretty much the death of MLK and his achievements of his whole lifetime.
And again, he was a passionate man. He believed that it didn't matter the color of your skin, but the character determining where you're going to end up in life. And as he fought hard for that, it has since been prostituted out a few times, as we have several black leaders today that are still alive that are just off in the ditch. And what do we know about Mr. Martin Luther King? What do we know about? What do you know about him? We know he was black. We know he was conservative. We know he was a Republican. He believed in God. And where would he be with all the pastors right now that are pushing abortion?
You just blasphemed half of the community because they got people. What did he just say? Well,
Just facts. But how many pastors right now aren't even living up to that?
That's it. See, a lot of folks.
Yeah, the standard, it was high. He had a high standard.
A lot of folks rewrite
Doing what's
history
right.
because you tell them Martin Luther King was a Republican, then all of a sudden, he stopped being the entity that he was.
Stop being human.
And now he wants to fuss and fight with you about politics and current politics as opposed to old fashioned. For the fact that not only was Martin Luther King a Republican, so was his father. So, but again, people are throwing stuff at the radio and at the but those are facts. You don't you get to change your future. You get to change your present. Ain't nothing you can do about the past. I'm just sorry.
Go forward.
The past is the past. So again, it depends on whether or not you believe he was a Republican. His father was a Republican. They were. So again, get over it, and we will move on about all the great things that this man did with your political, baggage aside.
Well, and I think that's really the key. The key is that we try to put on this. We try to cover the past and then those accomplishments, and try to see them, through the eyes of how we see politics now.
Right.
Right.
And all it does is get us in fights. as opposed to looking back at principles. Because I think looking back at principles
Substance.
is a lot more important than looking back at what party and all that kind of stuff. And that was my question to you before. Are we live as a community, not as individuals? Because I'm sure some of y'all are living the life you're supposed to. I'm sure of it. Otherwise, it'd be more chaos than there is. Are we living the principles as a community? Are we living those principles? Or are we having them secularized by current politics, by current politicians, by whatever, what current items are going on in the community, whatever the current culture is? Have we lost some of that? Gabriel mentions standards. Have we lost standards? My wife and I were in the DMV yesterday. Everybody shows up in the DMV. Everybody, at some point, because it's like being in hell. It is. It's like Hillsborough County's version of hell.
Basically, you got it.
There we go, laughing again.
Where you're going to see everybody, and just watching people, and I'm talking about black people, white people, Hispanic people, everybody. The line that came to me immediately, and I looked at her and I said, you know what? As a human race, we've had a good run. This may be coming to an end. We had a good run.
Well, you missed something if you didn't at some point in time go by one of these Walmarts on the weekend, super Walmart,
Well,
because there is a certain, I guess, culture involved in that.
Oh.
And, I'm just saying.
Show up there around 11 or midnight.
Yeah, and
That's where the floor show is.
yeah.
It's scary.
I seen some
Spandex
videos.
should not be allowed after 11 o'clock.
But another thing, because I heard something when we talk about culture and changes and community standards and concepts and stuff. I actually saw Gladys Knight last year at a Mormon church.
Okay.
I was invited by a good friend who was a Mormon, and I went and saw her for free.
That's good.
She's a Mormon like
She's
a Mormon like Glenn Beck.
One of her kids was a Mormon, and that's how she ended up being a Mormon.
Oh.
I think it was a son or a daughter.
Well, free got to be a Mormon for a night.
But she was performing for like a year all over the country, and these were free events, and
Wow.
it was in Mormon churches. And I saw her, and she sound excellent. She sound like her voice hasn't lost anything.
Wow, that's awesome.
And she's an older person. She's an older lady. But I heard somebody having a conversation over the week about her doing the national anthem for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a political thing that don't have to be political. It's on political because now it's political.
Somebody said it was.
And we tend as a people to be sheep. Easily, quickly led,
all of it,
and somebody says something. Now all of a sudden, you don't have your own mind. Because I'm not a follower. I'm not a person that's gonna follow something because of who said what.
Mm-hmm.
I think the national anthem could be sung by her and anybody like her because she is a national treasure. Because, like I say, she sounds the same as she did when she first did those songs with the Pips.
That's pretty amazing.
A number of years ago.
That's pretty
It
amazing.
just happened that I saw her in a Mormon church. So for a lot of black folks, that would be controversial because most black folks are Baptists or Methodists or something of that genre. You wouldn't think of her as being a Mormon if I hadn't saw it with my own eyes.
No,
and
I didn't think
and heard her tell the story about how she became a Mormon.
I didn't know that she was Mormon.
Yeah.
Well,
And again, that was a year ago, so stuff changes. But I know
I know
that's
Patti LaBelle is Buddhist. She is.
She is. Well, see
LaBelle.
again, yeah. Now I saw her a number of years ago, but she didn't talk about her religion. But the fact that I went to a Mormon church and heard her sing, again, makes a statement, and now it makes no different a statement than the fact that she's going to be a part. How many people in the world would love to be the person that sung the national anthem at a Super Bowl? See, again, everybody forget, they immediately plaster their political baggage and sends it out to somebody. Oh, she shouldn't sing. Oh, don't you know we're protesting the NFL? Well, you may be protesting the NFL, but everybody ain't protesting the NFL. And the fact that
If you're not outraged and you don't understand.
Right. Yeah. they come up with that.
I hate that.
And that's
phrase
bull.
so much.
Yeah, they come up with it. But that's again, that's how they lead you. It is that way that they lead our community. Again, we'll be outraged about something we don't know 2 cents about. We don't know a toenail about something, but cause somebody else say we supposed to be outraged about it and we should be upset about it, we immediately find ourselves outraged and upset about something. We don't know nothing. We can't carry on an intelligent conversation about it because it's somebody else's thought and somebody else's idea. We don't know enough about it to like it or dislike it. We just going on something somebody else told us. And our community overall, and I'm saying overall, is too smart for that. I mean, we got people who understand how to think for themselves, how to make a cohesive thought and put together a pattern, a repeated cohesive thought. But sometimes something like this come out, and all of a sudden we're all outraged because somebody's outraged.
Well, that groupthink is what's kept, I think, the Democratic Party in power for so long now.
Oh yeah.
That black people can't do this, Hispanics can't do that. Eddie, you're fairly well spoken for a black man. There are certain terms that are thrown out there on us.
Like,
Yeah.
fairly well spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like, what
what the hell that mean? Yeah.
Well, how are we going to talk otherwise?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, what the hell that mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So as we continue going forward and say, well, if you're going to individually do something, you got to think for yourself. If you want to create your own financial wealth, go get more training maybe. Go get around the people that got it. Go do something different for
Be
yourself.
65 and learn the world.
To be,
There you go.
yeah, exactly, like somebody we know. In other words, stepping out, and the group would normally say, no, you're too old for that.
Yeah.
You need to just sit here in this rocking chair.
I am the oldest person in my class.
And
Including the
Eddie's
teacher.
like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. No, the
not doing
teacher's 47. I got a son 47. So, but he also said he used to make $5,000 a week part time. He did say that too. So
Who could
again,
use some of that?
well, you got doctors ain't making $5,000
But that really,
a week
then I need to get
part
up in
time.
that class?
Yeah, but I ain't getting up at 5 in the morning.
Oh.
There are requirements, and I'm not willing to meet those requirements.
They can just send me an email.
And at this age, it's a big step forward. But I've been a person my whole life who did not mind putting time, energy, and effort in myself. Because again, opportunities change. I mean, I went back to school and got a master's in architecture when I was 45 years old. Just 20 years ago.
And by the way, so you didn't miss any meals. So, I mean, again,
No.
but you stepped out individually,
Yeah.
you did your own thing, you move your family along in the process.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this little guy can do it, why can't we?
Well, that's what I want to be. I want to be an example because, I mean, I talked to you guys for a whole year and say opportunities out there. If you want to change your life.
Job fairs you brought to the area.
Yeah, it's opportunities
Get
out there
off
for
the
this
couch.
community to improve itself. Don't sit back, woe with me, woe with me. Matter of fact, for young people, not my age, but young folks who are in their 20s and 30s, if you go do this now, they got financial aid. It really won't cost you anything. They encourage you to come back to school, pick up something, and Urban Votech is a college. So again, if you got a high school diploma, you grad GED or any of that kind of stuff, you can go out there and get financial aid, and they will teach you to do something. There's all kind of programs out there, and I'm just giving everyone a
And again, you're
free shot
telling
here.
people to
But
step
yeah,
out.
but that's cool.
Step out of the group. You got some
Sure.
friends that are all stupid and unemployed
and
doing
they ain't
drugs.
going back to school. They ain't
You
going.
let
They
them
ain't
start
improving
behind,
themselves.
stay behind.
Yeah.
And you go forward so you can get your life together, because one day, as I look at all of us here with a few gray hairs,
Mhm.
you're going to be older, probably a bit fluffier, but at least older. And if you haven't gotten yourself set up, who's going to take care of you? Because what is retirement, Eddie? Another word for retirement is unemployment.
Well-
So if you hit 70, if you hit 70 years old and you think you're going to retire, well,
Yeah.
guess what? If you don't have any money set up for yourself, whether through rental properties, some kind of income coming in, what you going to be waiting for? Blocks of cheese?
Well, see that, and that's the other thing you got to think about too nowadays. I'm having this conversation with somebody, the other day. Okay, you are now 65, 70 years old. You have been a horrible parent. So even if you have kids, they don't want nothing to do with you.
Mm.
Now you actually do need family. And that's what family's about. You spend time, energy with them when they need you. Now you need them. It reciprocates itself, and everybody kind of, passes on. Now the people who suffering, them folks who took advantage of their kids when they was young, and I'm telling you, your kids know. I'm just telling you, they're gonna remember that if they don't remind you of it in one way, they will in another way. You know, so now that now you old and you cripple, a senile or whatever the case may be, you actually need your kids. You actually need other family members, and to the point to where I have crew members who have dropped out of my crew because they are staying home. Their full-time, job away from the job is taking care of their parents. And that's good because these people are sacrificing, their life and this time in their life to help their moms and help their dads and literally take care of them because they can't live by themselves. And so it's a full-time job. If you've not ever had to do it, God bless you. But the folks who do it understand what I'm talking about. So that's like stamping your ticket to heaven. I'm just telling you because it is not a part-time deal, a job to take care of your mother or your father, especially if they bedridden or they need doctors and nurses around all the time. I mean, just managing their care in any form it comes in is something, and I consider it to be a responsibility. But again, depends on what kind of relationship you had 20, 30 years ago with them. Because, there was a certain time period where they didn't need you. They spent all their time taking care of you. They took every extra dollar they had, spent it on you. And now, here it is 30, 40 years later, they can't do for themselves. They need somebody. That's when you come in. So if you don't come in and they don't have anybody to come in, them people are now leading a horrible life. I'm telling you.
Well, and see, and that's what I was talking about before. It's sort of this is sort of a cultural thing. I think just in general in the country, because now people are so mobile, kids have a tendency to move away from their parents and live across the country, 3,000 miles across the country. So when now it comes time to the time that you're saying, and sometimes even if they have a decent relationship, with time and distance become a big issue, which is why it's important to be able to put funds aside so at least you can be taken care of for sure. This month is the 5th anniversary of my triple bypass surgery.
Okay.
Wow.
I had my surgery on the 16th of January of 2014. So I get a little bit, and you do too, of what it's about when you need to be taken care of.
Oh yeah.
When you can't take care of yourself. If there wasn't somebody in the house, you wouldn't eat. You might pee on yourself.
Repeatedly.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be gross, but people know that you need help going to the bathroom. You need help feeding yourself. If somebody comes to the door, first of all, they can't get in. If they want to get in, you can't stop them. Yeah. So you need help, and that was a reminder. So you're right. Build those relationships. And again, can we be a culture, especially in our community, can we be a culture that we take care of one another?
Yeah, I mean historically we do. But we just speaking of those.
But we're moving.
Who haven't.
But again,
and won't.
We are adopting, and I'm going to say this because you say it all the time. We're not the most politically correct program on TMP, but we are adopting the same things, we are acquiring the same culture of the dominant culture.
Yes, we have, and we've always done that.
Why are we doing that? Why are we accepting that kind of culture from the dominant culture? The dominant culture moves away from their parents. The dominant culture has fights with their mother. The dominant culture does all these things that we don't have the cultural buffer in finances and economics.
Okay, we got a call.
Go ahead. To do that. So, okay, a caller, thanks for calling Porch Talk Radio. We appreciate it. What can we do for you this glorious afternoon?
Hello? Can you hear us? Okay, all right, I guess.
All this information is making their head explode. They can't hold the phone.
All right.
That's all good.
Go ahead
and call back. So in this adoption of the culture of the dominant culture, we are losing our own culture. It isn't that the white folks are appropriating black culture. We're appropriating all the incorrect things
Of the white culture.
of white culture
Oh, yeah.
that are simply continuing to damage our own culture.
But they got the money.
It isn't necessarily that adopting black culture is the problem. The parts of black culture that they adopt are probably detrimental to them too.
When it pants below the hilt.
Well,
and
exactly.
stuff
A little bit of
that.
twerking.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see a 13-year-old white kid at in middle school, with his pants sagging, I'm going, so that's the piece of black culture
Right.
that you chose to appropriate? Are
Yeah.
you serious? It isn't Carter G. Woodson. It isn't all these other positive examples.
Mm-hmm.
You chose to do that?
Okay, I guess the caller's back.
Well, thank you for calling.
Welcome to Porch Talk Radio. What say you this morning?
Good afternoon, Eddie Adams and the crew. This is Candy Lowe. I just actually landed in Philadelphia here for a Black Business Bus Tour shout out from Tampa here for the MLK Day. And I just want to call in to let everyone know back home that we're making some changes in each and every state throughout the country in 2019, and I'm just excited about it. And I wanted to say also, Eddie, to you and Willie, and I'm not sure if
Gabriel's
Tim
here.
is in.
Looking
Tim
drunk,
is there?
sounding drunk.
That's not true.
Yes, Tim is here too.
We got Tim here
Thank you
too.
guys, because you guys have been there for a long time with me in this Black Business Bus Tour, and being able to come up here and have a chance to tell them how we have made such a big economic empowerment change with supporting our African-American businesses in Tampa. I'm just excited about it, brothers.
Well, see, those folks in the city of brotherly love is going to get some southern hospitality, which is kind of what we've been talking about here. And you give them the message, honey.
Candy, I cannot say that I am prouder to know you.
I know we got another call.
Than I am right now, because this idea is all been in your brain, has all been in your heart for a long, long time. And as you shared it with people who live here, it is a dazzling, wonderful moment that you can share it with people who need to do the very same thing all over the country. We're proud of you, kiddo. We are so
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
Candy.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for
also,
calling.
We have on February 9th, we have our Black Business Bus Tour. We'll be saluting our small businesses in the city. So anyone that's interested in being a part of that, they can give me a call when I get back to Tampa next week.
Give them your number so they can know where to call.
Thank you so much for that, Eddie. It's 813-394-6363. That's 813-394-6363. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Thank
God
you
bless.
for calling. Have a great trip, and we'll see you when you get back.
All right, honey. Thanks.
Take care, Candy.
All right, we got another caller. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. What say you this afternoon?
What say you this afternoon? It's Joe Robinson, Eddie Adams.
Hey, Joe.
And
We hadn't gotten to talk about your campaign yet, but since you're here, you can go ahead and tell folks.
well, I'm just running for City Council District 2 citywide, and only African American in that race. And I'm running against two other people, and I'm quite sure you're going to get into it. However, I just want to thank you. Hope I can get your support in my race.
Let me go ahead, Joe. Let me go ahead and say it on the radio. I have already got you on my list of candidates to support and talk about. So you are our guy in district city council district 2. So you are our guy.
And then I also want to take over Beth Lewis, president of NAACP, said, Joe Robinson, you got any extra tickets to the breakfast? And she said, Eddie Adams did one. So I'm telling you on the app. I just got approval that you can get the other ticket I got.
Well, thank you, Joe Robinson. We didn't connect this for this to happen like that, but thank you so very much, my friend.
That's the only way I'm going to get a hold of you, man. So I just think I need to know that you need to put your name on the list for the NAACP table and the extra seat I got. So I'll let her know too, but I want to let you know why I got you on the phone now.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
What you got? All right, bro.
All right, bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, we had we hadn't got to our city politics here on Porch Talk Radio, but that's where we were going. But again, we have people in this community that are recognized nationally for some of the things we're doing here in Tampa. Tampa is one of those cities that's moving, making great strides, and we got people in the community that, and if you guys recall, last week we had Connie Burton here. So that was, I called Candy and kind of had a conversation with her, and she said, well, I'm going to, Philadelphia to talk to an economic development conference in Philadelphia. I said, go on with your bad self, girl. So good. People outside this area recognizing people inside this area, and they're doing great things, and we can't stand in their way. We got to partner with them because great things tend to happen in groups. So it gets greater the more people are involved in them. And what she's talking about is stuff that we're doing here that other people hadn't heard of, hadn't done. And again, you can make somebody else's task a little easier because you've done it. You've worked out the bugs. And for you to take an idea, and then those folks in Philadelphia, somebody see them doing it, then some folk somewhere else, New York, New Jersey, or somewhere see them doing stuff. And that's how stuff spreads across the country. Good stuff spread. So again, congratulations for going and making the trip and getting involved beyond the boundaries of Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was so cool when I first heard about Candy doing the Black Business Bus Tour here in town. Actually, I went on one of those tours with her a year ago or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was interesting seeing, people were surprised how many black-owned businesses there were, not just in, quote, the black area, but actually all over the city.
Right.
And it was nice getting that notoriety. It was nice that people got, those businesses got business. A whole busload of people showed up at your door,
with money.
With money. With
money and credit cards.
With credit cards and cash in hand, waiting to support you. So it was incumbent on the business to have the products and the level of service to meet the needs of the community.
Yes.
And I think that's really the key to all of this. And I think that Candy makes sure that these folks here in town, and you guys who will participate in this already know this, that you have to live up to as high a standard as anywhere else in any other business. And when that happens, and then you get real live economic development, not some not some happen speak from some politician downtown.
Right. Somebody trying to get elected.
Well, yeah. This is how you really get economic development, by actually going into those businesses and developing their economy.
Taking money. I mean, literally.
Money.
Rolling up in the store with a whole bunch of people looking to buy stuff, looking to help make you successful. Mm-hmm. See, that's a concept that should have been around 100 years ago. And it was in a different
it probably
form.
was.
I mean, because what they did then, they would carry in some chicken and some eggs, and somebody else would have some milk, and somebody else, would have a half a cow, partial pig, because, again, that's how they sold them, because they all had a big weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and they put that pig on a rack, and they slaughtered it, and they split it up, just like that. So again, you was part of the process. That's a community thing. So this is the same thing. This is updated, walking in with a bunch of folks who don't know what you got till they get there. But when they get there, they find something they want to buy because they know it's going to do two things. It's going to help you, and it's going to help them.
Yeah, because then you're adding value to their life, and this is all about adding value. So it's exciting that this concept, especially during this week and this time, should be part of the discussion. And it sort of gives me hope, because I started off with, are we living up to the principles and the standards of this holiday and the person that it's named for?
Right.
Some of us are, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of them is Candy Love.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, we're gonna take this time to we're gonna do on this day in history, and then we're gonna talk about local campaigns and new candidate for mayor, new folks for city council, and we knew there were going to be some last minute splashes, and the last minute has come and gone. Everybody had to qualify yesterday, so all the folks who are currently registered with the supervisor of elections are the candidates who will be on the ballot on March 5th, I think it is, whatever the election day is.
I believe that is.
And the thing about it is, it is multiple people, and you got to get 50% plus one to win these things. So if you don't get that first round, then there's going to be a second round. And for the mayor, we definitely going to have a second round because there's 8 or 9 folks running for mayor, and because of the way it's set up, and we know nobody in that election is going to get 50% plus one. So there's going to be, that's like the primary, and then the real election comes like a month later. So anyway, let's do on this day in history. Okay, on this day, January the 19th, 1883, Thomas Edison, first village electric lighting system using overhead wires, began operation in Rochelle, New Jersey. So it kind of came out of, another thing came out of New Jersey.
And they're still using the very same lighting system there.
Yep. I wouldn't doubt that. Okay, on this day, 1915, George Claude of Paris, France, patented the neon discharge tube for use in advertising signs. That's the neon lights. So
And they've been putting them under cars.
under cars and over cars,
Motorcycles.
and everywhere else. Yes. Shame on you, George. Anyway.
Yeah, really.
Okay. On this day, January 19th, 1996, U.S. First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton was subpoenaed to appear before a federal grand jury. The investigation was concerning the discovery of billing records related to the Whitewater real estate investigation venture.
She was cleared, right?
Just for
I believe so.
just for everybody to know. And on this day, 2013, in Scottsdale, Arizona, the original Batman for the TV series Batman automobile, the original Batmobile for the TV series Batman sold at auction for $4.6 million.
And what was the chassis? Do you remember?
It was the first of 6 Batmobiles produced for the show. And I was having a conversation last week with somebody who was talking about, for all those shows, all those cars and stuff, the actors sometimes keep the original car for themselves, and they keep it and add it to a collection of stuff that they have, memorabilia from the show that they keep themselves. And nowadays, a lot of those people keeping cars and keeping stuff out the house and all this stuff, and then they wait 10 years and then they come back and sell this stuff for millions of dollars. So as we can see, the original Batmobile, now, because this is a guy over in Clearwater that has a Batmobile,
Who has one?
but it's not the original one. So he's not going to get $4 million for his. I'm just letting everybody know.
And it was a Lincoln Continental they used, the original body style of
Makes
those
sense.
back in the day.
Makes sense.
Because it was huge.
Long. Yeah,
1966. Yep.
see, there you go, Gabriel, good for something.
But it
Some days
wasn't
are good. I'll drink to that.
But it wasn't as nice as Black Beauty.
No.
You know what Black Beauty was, right? That was Green Hornet's car.
Ah, there you go.
And that was actually a Lincoln.
That was Lincoln.
Yeah, so that was a Lincoln. So
You could tell that one.
with
Bruce
Kate,
Lee was in that show.
with Cato the driver.
That was Bruce Lee.
George
Yeah.
Barris was the Batmobile creator back in the day.
Yeah.
He created quite a lot of those cars, George Barris.
And I don't understand, because for all the Batman
the crazy stuff you know about.
shows that's been made since the original Batman, none of them tried to duplicate the Batmobile.
No, of course not.
They have Bat cars, but none of them come close to being the kind of car that the original Batmobile
Because it
was.
was just too cool.
It was damn cool, especially back then.
Back in the day.
Nobody had a car on TV like Batman.
Nope.
But the one they're using today
was unique.
that beast of a car.
Tumbler run roller thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too now.
Okay, well let me tell you guys, local politics. If some people jumped in to the mayor's race, and a person two jumped in to some of these city council races. One of the people I suspected who had said possibly they were going to jump in, and Bay News 9 was inkling that they were going to jump in, didn't jump in. So and I'm not going to put them in, but the big news is, and a name Dick Greco Jr. is now a candidate for mayor for the city of Tampa.
Vote the name you know.
Vote the name you know. that was a big movie.
That was a great movie. The movie was called The Distinguished Gentleman.
Yeah. and he had all kind of problems. Once he became a candidate, everybody knew who he was. Then people showed up at his door with problems. So that's part of the process. So Dick Greco Jr. evidently qualified, and he's now, even though they haven't done any kind of financial report, but nobody knows what kind of money he got. He's the big question mark because all these other people have been up and running for months, and the best possible candidate showed up late in the race, but that's been done before because if you guys don't remember, Pam Arroyo did the same thing. You know, she showed up the day of qualified, and then went on to become the mayor of the city of Tampa.
Twice.
Yeah. So, that being said, nobody else that I see, you know, is a pop-up surprise. Now, there's a Reginald Howard that is now a candidate, but he's a write-in candidate. And for those who don't understand politics, what write-in means is his name will not be on the ballot. So he got to do like Jesse Ventura, who is the only other person in the country that I know of who got elected to anything of significance, and he was a write-in candidate. So they had to have one hell of a campaign up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota, and since he was already popular and people knew his name, so that wasn't difficult for enough people to write in. So he actually won the governorship by write-in campaign. So Reginald Howard, good luck.
Yeah.
You picked the hardest possible way to actually win an election, to have enough people write your name in to where you're going to beat all these other 7 or 8 people who got name recognition and money and a combination of the two. So more power to you, my brother.
That's awesome. Hey guys, remember today is 3 o'clock. Today at 3 o'clock,
What happens today at 3 o'clock?
the president's going to make an announcement. Today at 3 o'clock about the government shutdown. It
Okay.
could be national emergency time.
No.
Of course, Obama did it 16 times, so
Who cares?
whatever. But if you get people back to work,
I don't care. They're fine.
You know, to get people back to work, all they got to do is say, go back to work. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally that easy.
well, they need money.
Yeah.
No, it's in,
No, they got money. Ain't no
No, they ain't letting it go. That's the problem.
but as you were talking about runoffs, almost all these categories have at least 4 people. District 2 does now that Joe's in. District 3 has at least 3. The only one that isn't going to end up in a runoff at this point probably is 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Because Guido Maniscalco is in 6 by himself still.
Nope.
Also, somebody else is in there?
Her name is Pepe. Miss Pepe.
Pepe?
And I heard that she said, I didn't do the individual race, but I did go to Supervisor of Election website, and Guido do have an opponent.
He has an opponent.
Yes, her
Yeah.
last name is Pepe. P-E-P-E.
What
Okay.
district?
6. Well, you know what? Good luck to her, but it's my guess
Mhm.
that they won't be a runoff in that race still.
Yeah. Well, with only 2 people, somebody's gonna win.
Yeah, somebody.
So,
Yeah.
so somebody's gonna win. So it won't be a runoff in that one. And there's actually 3 people in 7 now. So what I'm gonna do is give you guys my picks.
Uh-oh.
So these are Eddie's picks.
Now this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Well, in entertainment, it's
Easily offended.
No gambling.
It's as good as any other poll that's out there. So starting and my first on my list is Donald John Trump for president, because again that election is right around the corner. I'm telling you, people, by the time you realize it, that election is going to be on top of you. It's going to be on your doorstep. So 2020 is right around the corner. And for candidates who understand election and the politics and the blood sport that is election, trust me, it is right there. And David A. Strass Jr. for mayor. Walter Smith II for City Council District 1. Newly on the block, minted Joe Robinson
Minted.
for City Council District 2. Stephen Lytle for City Council District 3. Bob Carson for City Council District 4. Orlando Goose, City Council District 5 and I'm not picking District 6 yet because the new opponent just got there, and Quentin F. Robinson for City Council District 6, and I'm gonna say this out loud. District 7. I'm sorry, District 7, and I'm gonna say this out loud because a lot of people have had conversation about Quentin qualifying. They say, oh, he wasn't going to qualify. Well, he qualified. So when you go to the Supervisors of Election website and you go to the local candidates, his name's going to show up. He's in it. So hopefully he's in it for the long haul. And we're going to be talking to these guys. We're going to be talking to these folks here on the show. We're going to try to get them all in and have you meet them through us, and a lot of these other shows on Saturday morning on here on TMP gonna do the same thing. So if they don't do anything else, many other people in the local black community will meet these people on these radio shows on Saturday morning. So that's a good thing. That's better than no contact. Because if you don't have money, I'm telling you, if you don't have money, your chances of winning a local, state, national election is minuscule.
It's definitely hampered.
It's small, and if there's a thing smaller than small, it's that, because again, you can have great intentions and you can work your butt off, and you can get a bunch of volunteers to work their butt off, but you got to have money to get the attention you need.
Or know somebody with money.
Yeah, and people vote with people they think they know or people they know, and hopefully, if you can make people love you, you're going to win all kind of elections. But the problem with the mayorship, they got 7 or 8 people running for mayor, and all of them think all the people love them. So that's going to be an issue, because usually South Tampa elects the mayor. I'm just telling you, all city, county politics that involves everybody, South Tampa votes at a rate between 39 and 60% every election. The problem is, in the math and the strategic plan that's involved in it, you got 5 of these 7 folks who are either claiming to live in South Tampa or live in South Tampa. So them folks in South Tampa, loyalty's gonna be split. They're not gonna vote for one of these guys. I'm telling you, everybody's gonna pick their guy from South Tampa, and they're gonna show up at the polls. So you're gonna have some other entity, maybe Town and Country, maybe the black community, maybe North Tampa. Somebody else is going to elect the mayor, because he or she is going to get a bunch of votes from a area that the other areas or the other candidates, going to be invisible in. So they may get, somebody may get, 30, 40% from one area, and the other guys get 0. Well, guess what? That area just picked the mayor for the city of Tampa.
So it's important, guys. We're giving you information. We're giving you information, not for you just to sit around on the couch and go, that's nice. But for you to kind of listen up, and if you want to go see who these people are, you can go to the election commissioner's website, I'm sure.
It's votehillsboro.org.
There you go.
Votehillsboro.org.
So get off the couch, go see what these people are about, and get out and vote, and get out and get people involved. Go join the campaign.
Well, the cool thing is, because there's so many people, it forces all these people to canvass the entire city now.
Yes, it does.
Because there are no safe spaces to go. I mean, you have to go talk to people in East Tampa. You got to go to West Tampa. You got to go to Town and Country. You've got to go to Carrollwood. You've got to go to all the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Because every single vote is going to be important.
And I'm going to say something now, and then it's going to be time for us to go. But every campaign for mayor has populated their campaign staff and folks with black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Not seen that before. So evidently, somebody that understands politics can tell them, you got to go out and get some black votes, because you're not going to be able to depend on South Tampa. So again, they putting people, they getting diverse campaign teams to campaign this cycle, and hopefully that you will vote for them. So without any further ado, same time, same place,
Same bat time, same bat station,
see
same
you again
Batmobile.
next week.
God bless America.
Bye-bye.